I directed the Night of Hope concert that was sponsored by the Congress of Visayan Organizations. This was to raise funds for the victims of the October 15 earthquake in Bohol and the November 8 Typhoon Haiyan that hit the Visayas.
The Congress of Visayan Organizations started working on this project a month ago. We gathered a team of volunteers who were willing to work on this benefit concert. Then, Typhoon Haiyan hit on November 8 in central Visayas. The unprecedented magnitude of Typhoon Haiyan presents a new challenge. Satellite pictures of Haiyan's intensity move us in fear as it grew in its path to the islands of Samar and Leyte. It is now being called Super Typhoon, the strongest tropical cyclone to ever make landfall. It calls for the strongest ever response.
When I heard about the earthquake at the beginning, I was kind of like shocked. We went home 1 month after the Haiyan, and we were in Tacloban for 5 days doing medical mission. The airport itself, the structure was devastated. On our way to the hotel, we passed a lot of debris and tons of wreckage. And you know, the smell, a lot of us say, oh, are those animals there in the pile or are those people? We couldn't tell. And when you pass by on the street, there's a lot of cars that are hanging on the trees that they haven't removed, and clothing and everything else is just, it was horrible, honestly.
And when the earthquake happens in Bohol, that's the first earthquake, that really big one happened, I was kind of devastated because one of my relatives died during that time.
Can you describe to us what kind of pictures you got and how you were looking at them as you put them together?
At one point I cried. I cried because, and it's really very emotional, because you see here what happened to a beautiful communities, and then all of a sudden, like, you get this strong wind, just like, you know, first you get this strong shake that brought down even centuries old of massive structures. Right?
And these were churches, right?
These were churches, and of course other buildings as well. Yeah, and people were still trying to pick the rubble, and then here comes this stronger, you know, natural force that nobody could stop. You know, I have seen images, and I tried to minimize putting in images.
I remember
of
you were
people
talking
like
about that.
lying down, lifeless, you know, dead. You know, I've seen images of children, right? I've seen images of elderly people, right? The so-called helpless population.
When there is a disaster in the Philippines, our kababayans, you know, we all group together and try to help.
A lot of people are willing to help, you know, even if they're not from Bohol or from Tacloban, but because, aside from being Visayan, but because they're Filipino, they're willing, you know, to assist or to give.
You can take the Filipino out from the Philippines, but you can never take the Philippines out of the Filipino.
Right.
And that's why even when you have this Filipino out of the country, the tie is always there. Very, very much alive and very, very strong.
It began for me with a Facebook post that my brother Joel responded in terms of the minimal response that the Hawaii community had, especially the mainstream media.
Immediately, there were conversations between me and my brother Jake, and soon after, Miss May Mizuno, I think, was included in the conversation. So that was the start of the creation of the efforts to find ways on how can we contribute.
I would like to invite everyone in unison for the next 6 minutes of our time to pay tribute to our beloved kababayans of the Visayan region. A catastrophic devastation in the Visayas, particularly in Samar and Leyte, has displaced and left homeless about 800,000 people, taking almost 6,000 lives. The Congress of Visayan Organization, or COVO, has taken the lead in relief efforts in helping their region. 100% of the proceeds will fully go to the earthquake and the typhoon victims, and the rehabilitation of the infrastructure is what this group wants to focus on, rebuilding schools, health centers, and homes. Proud to present the next performer, and she's doing a lyrical hula for the benefit of the victims of the Visayan region. So here she is, Alisa Reyes.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all.
The concert idea was when we first met. I asked all the Filipino community who came out for the first time, and we had a meeting here at the Philippine Consulate. And one of the members or one of the Filipino community leaders brought that up. And so I thought it would be a good idea.
And so the night of the concert came. It was very exciting. A lot of the people who were helping me were doing this for the first time. But we had rehearsed their roles. We had gone through the entire program and made sure that they did what they were supposed to do.
When I heard about the concert, we wish that somebody from your group will call us, and actually I'm having goosebumps right now because it's a real one, because we want to help too in any way that we can.
I'm so proud because that's my first time here in Hawaii to do that concert. Yeah, I'm so proud.
It's a
big event for me.
Yeah, that's his first time.
I am Filipino, not just Ogie. And it's my pleasure, my honor. I just flew in from the Big Island to share my aloha to you. So many songs that can help ease the pressure of the way the world works today. What's important is to remember how strong you have to be inside.
You guys just don't know how puzzled I am being tasked to be a technical director. I don't even know what the hell is that. But guess what? This is what comes out when, again, you rise and you learn. And I'm so glad I was part of it, because I now can claim that I had experience as technical director.
Please don't talk about sweet love. Please don't talk about being true and all the trouble you've been through.
Because everything has to be timed, and the pressure is on at that moment, that we want to make sure that it will go as we have practiced.
When your heart is filled with sorrow and despair, I'll carry you when you need a friend.
And I remember thinking, you know, all these people in the audience, we hope that they see this perfect, seamless show without any idea of how crazy it is behind the scenes.
Filipino fiesta, here we go! 1, 2, 3, go!
one that got me really nervous was the main curtain. Even though it was just pushing the button and didn't require like any physical strength, I was nervous because it was an important part in the whole performance.
So at one point, which was about the middle of the show, these performers were like really excited because they were gonna go like next, and they wanted to go out and see everything.
That's all you need to do. In any Filipino community, you walk through Repollo, just yell, Pacquiao! Where's Pacquiao? Where? Okay, so we're gonna, so that you know, I am half Filipino. My dad is full-blooded Filipino from Siquijor. That's right, Visayan. My mom is Portuguese. What you said?
My role was to work the fly system. So I split jobs with Jovi on that job. So he had the first 4 pulleys or something like that, and I had the control of the back pulleys. And so it was really cool because then I got to actually work with my own piece of art that I got to create. So I got to work with that during the show. So that was really fun.
My role for the Night of Hope concert was pretty simple. For me, it was just fun to keep in touch with the artists and everybody what they like to become, because we want to treat the artists equally.
Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Sense of a pine, you know how I feel.
It was very touching, and to seeing the talents of the Filipino and the Filipino community was amazing.
I felt like family. Yeah. I get to know the other artists. I got to know Christian Lay personally,
yes,
right then and there.
When you asked me about performing for the Night of Hope and being your main attraction, I didn't have to think about it. I just wanted to do everything I could to help and use whatever I had, like the talents or gifts and skills to be able to help the people there who were suffering.
From Central Visayas, we are proud to bring you Christian Lay.
Sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came. That voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the opera is there inside my mind.
So it was exciting for me to just be part of, helping the motherland, and there was an urgent need. I mean, there was no way you could refuse or just lay back and be passive about it.
When the curtains was closed, my duty was to put candles and tea leaves on the floor. It really touched me because I'm Hawaiian Filipino, and the two nationality put together, it brought like unity with the tea leaves and the candles.
I really found myself through this show. And then I was explained the meaning of the song I'm going to sing and how wonderful it is to be Filipino when you know where you come from. I really felt a great pride to be who I am, which is Filipino, and where I come from. And so I'd like to dedicate this song to all of you, all the Filipinos and all our youth, to be proud of who you are and where you come from. Ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ng hinto at bulaklak, pag-ibig sa kaniyang palad, nagwalay ng ganda't dilag.
It was so inspiring for me, and it's such an honor for me, for us to be part of that Night of Hope and to share our talent for the Typhoon Haiyan victims.
After the Night of Hope concert, the next step was to make sure that the funds raised were accounted for, and meetings were held asking everybody how the money will be spent. On April 2014, the Memorandum of Agreement was signed between the CEO of Gawad Kalinga USA, Tony Olaes, and the Kobo Foundation President, Ms. Jane Clement. The months after the signing were very crucial to making the plan happen. The plan was that by December 2014, 40 homes will be completed.
The beneficiaries are the most important partner because in the end, kamuman mo'y magpuyo dinhi, and you have to take good care of this gift because one day they might come back, and when they see you, the houses there, kinahanglan nga inig paningil, kumusta man imong balay? Nindot lang hapon. Okay ba ta niya na?
Larawan ka sa luma, katao mo ay sama, utya kaning ang buhay, usag bayan na mong minahal, ang mga kafuturan, isabak sa imong kapatagan, awit pinaiyahang dayan-dayan, linungsod na mong natawan.
Mayong hapon ka na itong tanan.
Mayong hapon!
Bisan gaulan, apan naglukso-lukso ang atong makasing-kasing sa kalipay, tungod kay maumaning karon ang panahon, ang tibok sa bayan, nalipay og dako nga kini nga proyekto ma-materialize gyud dinhi sa bayan.
The Kobo Congress of Visayas Organization, atong mga igsuon na tuan dito sa Hawaii, nakahuna-huna, nakalantaw sila unsa ang mga kalisod, kapait nga ato nga ginatagamtam dinhi sa atong lalawigan sa Bohol, ilabi na ning lungsod sa Sarbay.
I'd like to make the record clear. We're very honored that Consul General Gina Hamuralan, who represents the Philippine Consulate in Hawaii, is here with us. How about a hand?
Dili na ko why words na ko makasulti pag-describe sa kanindot ug kalipay ang gihatag nato. Salamat gid ni sa Ginoo nga through sa ato Gawad Kalinga family gikan ninyo nahatag ning ingon aning panimalay para sa mga victims sa earthquake at 7.2 earthquake.
Tagaan ta mo short background o kung sa'yo nahitam ani. Mga Bisaya dito sa Hawaii, led by Congress of Visayan Organizations, nagkahinugpong mi kay na-feel na mo ang inyuhang mga kasakit diri o mga hitabo diri. So, ang among gibuhat, nag-fundraising mi, na-introduce ang Gawad Kalinga USA namo. So we talked to them, we talked to the President, Tony Olaes.
The earthquake happened and then followed by Typhoon Haiyan. You guys will be very proud of our Filipino community sa Hawaii. We really came together, not just really the Filipino community statewide, but the general Hawaiian community. Everybody helped, everybody asked how they could help.
First family, the recipient of JT Housing Unit, Lumay Maria Teresa. Congratulations.
Nalipay ko ma'am nga nga excited kay wa mo jud ko ga-expect nga ma-appeal jud ko sa makanan sa balay kay ang ako man kung giapas ani education sa mga bata og health og livelihood kanang wala ko na ka expect gyud ba nga ma-appeal jud ko sa first batch nga na balay. So perti gyud ako lipaya. Nagpasalamat ko sa Ginoo, nagpasalamat ko sa sponsor nga na-appeal jud ko. Pag hitabo ato nga linog, wa ko ga kuan nga mabuhi pa ba mi or pagkatapok pa ba mi sa pamilya kay nagkabuwag pa man mi adto di. Akong gikuan ko Ginoo kung imo man ganing kuhaon na ang imo nang ganing kuhaon usaha sa mitan ng pamilya usa mi haatanan. Dugay mo kay to na human, mato nga pagkahuman, mato nga nagkatapok mi. Bahalag na unsa mong balay or nagkakuan ba sa kamitan na nagkatapok yun mi nga maluwas yun mi.
Virgilia Adera birada inubanan sa iyang kapikas nga way paglubad ang pagpangga gipayungan bisagwanay alikabo. Congratulations! Pause for a while with a smile.
Unsa man na siya value formation?
Para sa kanang kuan nga magtinabangay jud mi ani ug himo na jud nimo kanang GK village. Nga magwa na yamoy kuan bugoy-bugoy, wa na lingkod-lingkod, trabaho na jud tanan.
I see.
I work full-time in Gawad Kalinga. We are called the Area Coordinating Team for Central Visayas. Because what we did actually is the first 60 is values formation, and then attendance, and the number of hours in the bayanihan. So just right now, they will know their first 20, but these 20, they still have conditions that they will sign some kasunduan, and then meet some conditions for them to actually occupy. So for now, they are awardees, and then they will just meet the conditions like signing papers.
Yeah.
And that's the time that they will now be actually awarded with certificate of occupancy, meaning they can now stay in the house that is finished for the 20 units.
In behalf of our barangay chairman, Imelda C. Camposano, so I'm here to welcome all visitors.
Itong torol ay magpapaalala sa bawat kapitbahayan na hindi natin sila iniwan at hindi natin sila iiwan. We will live to our promise that we will leave no one behind.
Rounding up to 20 kapitbayan.
Ako si Beverly Maanyo, manhiyat ako lusawa, Heri Labanan. Malipayon kami nga nag-aana kami hinbago na balay, tungod kay bago pagod na kami na mag-asawa.
Ano ilang mga ngalan?
Yahi, mayroon na sa rin akong suhag, anakon ikaduha, Heri Vincent, nga alalin ako ni Katulon ako naging bubugod yan na.
Mayo. Kag nagtabang ka mo paggama, di? Sa balay?
Opo.
Oh, ano imong gihimo?
Paghalo, pag-akot ng halo blocks, ng baras, kahit umulan, maraw, tumutulong, kaya para magkabahay.
Well, because at the Cebu Association, I was assigned to be Santa Claus. So then I said, I'm going to Leyte. Why not I do the same?
And then I brought some clothes
that I did before we go here in Hawaii. I do garage sale and buy those children's clothes. And so we did give that to them one by one.
The next part of this documentary is the talk about accountability and transparency. That conversation had always been a part of all the meetings. Every time we ask a donor for a donation, we always assured them that we will give them a list of all the other donors, a total of all the money received, and to report to them how the money will be sent to the Philippines.
When you're here in the United States, you're not sure about where your money is going to go when you're dealing with the Philippines. And because Gitukod Kalinga is a non-profit here in the United States, as a 501c corporation, we have a fiduciary responsibility for everybody's money. But it still doesn't stop people from mistrusting the money's landing back over there. But I'm telling you, it worked out wonderfully.
Well, accountability is very important because there's many cases in the past where people really give a lot of money, a lot of help, but they don't know where the money really went. And it's very important for the donors to really know where the money goes to.
You know, the Philippines gets hit a lot. And so their first question was, well, what happened to last year, the previous year's money when that typhoon hit? And of course, I didn't really have an answer for them because we weren't the ones fundraising for that. But I did explain to them that we are a new group, different group. We're focused on ensuring that their money will be accounted for. And we told them that we would prove it in a number of ways.
There was so much controversy around that time because there were so many fundraisers. And there was just, I was hearing, where's the money going? It's going to go to this and this, going to that. What if it's not going to get there? They were doubting where the money was going to go. Are you sure? And they kept asking, are you sure that's where the money? I'll make sure. I said, I'll make sure. They're going to make sure, and they're going to tell me it's going to go to the right place.
There is no question about the need for transparency and accountability. I think we owe it to the people. We must report to the people who have given their hearts, not only their resources, but who have given their hearts to kind of be one with the people who were devastated or victimized by these disasters here.
Without trust, we don't have anything to offer to the community. The Filipino community, especially in Hawaii, from what I know, have been burned quite a few times when it comes to community fundraising. And that's why not too many Filipinos donate to, for example, other organizations because they don't have trust. And trust is very important because if we don't have trust, we will be one of those organizations which the Filipino community will not donate to.
Kovo from the beginning did not let up. So it always be asking for updates, asking for reports, pictures if necessary, so pictures that we would get from the site.
Kovo Foundation is the fundraising arm of Kovo, and it acted as the fiscal sponsor for this particular project. So what we did first and foremost was to execute a memorandum of agreement between Kovo and the foundation to make sure that we understand each other's responsibilities and obligations when it comes to the administration of all the contributions received. And this includes the identification of the project, where the project should be located, and the selection of the partner non-governmental organization to implement such project, which in this case was Gitukod Kalinga USA, who matched our $80,000 donation dollar for dollar.
Once the money was collected, I deposited into the Kovo Foundation account. There were separate deposits for t-shirt sales. There was a separate deposit for buttons, as well as the plate lunch, the concert sale of tickets.
When you talk about transparency and accountability, I think the Congress of the Visayan organizations is second to none. They have set the bar. They have done a great public-private partnership with Gawad Kalinga, and they have changed the game. The whole dynamics is changed by their transparency and accountability. One can simply look at their record and know where the money went. This is now the new bar.
One of the difference I believe with doing this fundraising is the donors, sponsors, and everybody else, even those who didn't donate, if ever they do want to look back, they can actually go to the Philippines. If they're there on vacation, they can visit for themselves and have tangible proof that we did build these 2 villages. So I think that really makes a bold statement about what we do and who we are.
Here's the biggest thing that I loved about everybody at Kovo. They went over to the Philippines. It's not only a win for Gawad Kalinga, it's a win for Kovo. There's partnerships like this that will start to bridge the way to the future change of the Philippines.
I think people always want to give, and in a way the hearts are always open. And I think it'll make it even better that they know that this is a group that can keep their word.
But because of the full cycle that was followed, meaning to account for it, to actually demonstrate the villages to the donors, that full cycle allowed to strengthen the trust by the Kovo leadership and the Filipino community donors.
I think we'll probably be the only one that seek to have this type of accountability and transparency, and this will go a long way.
The success of our fundraising efforts was all due in large part to the incredible generosity of our volunteers. I cannot thank them enough for giving their time, talents, and resources. Some of our volunteers even stood in the rain during the Night of Hope concert just so people could park safely. It is so heartwarming to see that even if Hawaii is now our home, the Filipino Bayanihan spirit still is so alive and well.
This documentary will forever chronicle Kovo's journey towards the realization of this project. From the moment the fundraising events were thought of, planned, executed, and ultimately the completion of the project. It has been an incredible, amazing journey to be working with such incredible group of people who care so much, who gave so much of themselves, and who has such genuine passion for helping people.
I would say that what I also have learned out of this process is that when people collectively, ordinary people get together, can do extraordinary things, and I've seen that illustrated in this endeavor.
We are so lucky to be living in a community where people embody the true spirit of aloha. While this project was mainly organized by Kovo, it was supported by the entire Filipino community. And yes, we all helped build the 40 houses. But beyond the structure, we helped build hope for those families who received them. And in the process, and most importantly, we helped build a stronger and more united Filipino community.
So those were the many views of all the people who thought about how can we account for the money, how can we make sure the donors will believe in us, and how can we make sure that the money really got to the Philippines. There's still a long way ahead of us to make sure that all the work that we have started can really be reported to all the donors. We will not stop checking on all these villages and making sure that the people who receive them are happy and can thrive in these Kovo villages. Thank you.
And when I was singing the final song of the show, it was You Will Never Walk Alone. And it was very organic. It was just spontaneous that I ended up on my knees because it was just a feeling that came over me like a prayer. So when I was on my knees and I sang the song and then I rose to my feet and everyone joined together, I started to feel the spirits of those that have come to the stage, and I felt their presence, and then I got chicken skin. I really felt that we were together in one place while we're singing that song.
And at the ending of the show, after she sang, just everyone picking up the candles at the end and walking through the aisles with it in the audience really made me have chicken skin. I can't remember what happened after that, but it was just an awesome closing.
Of course, the big effort that we had collectively was the Night of Hope, and memory was like, it was a mixed feeling, right? There was still that feeling of grieving. There was still that feeling of sadness for what has happened. But at the same time, there was like a feeling of almost like triumph.
And ladies and gentlemen, in times of darkness, there is light. Light at the end of the tunnel. We ask you now to light your candles and form a circle which represents each and every one of us here tonight.
Walk on.